When I tell you 2014, what's the first thing that pops into your mind?
Brenna McKee, Emma Jones, all those girls, Sammy Collin, Paxton, like it really was the team that year, all those, like Mary Spring, Thigpen, like I think about the girls in that year. I do think about the national final game. It is my nightmare, right? Make it to the final, you think like that's all that you want to do. And from a small school like us to play Grand Valley, it's like, wow, that was the dream. And then losing it has become the nightmare, right? It's like, I can't believe we got there and then we lost it. So that's kind of the sour piece to an experience like that. And that's just something I need to personally get over. But it really is the girls. I mean, that group of kids and the things that they produced on the field was off the charts.
So heading into the season, you weren't considered for a national ranking. The Sunshine State Conference preseason poll had you finishing at third.
Right.
But deep down inside for you, how does that feel when you go above and beyond those expectations?
Well, we love overachieving. I mean, that's kind of what the program has always been based on. Is it's not easy here by any means. For us, we always say, A through Z, you can't skip B, C, D, E, F to get to the letter Z. So over the last few years, we've gotten A, and then we got to B, and then C and D, and where are we now? It could be N or M or L. I mean, I'm not sure where we are right at this moment, but I definitely think that we're one step closer to feeling those things that we felt before back in 2014. I knew what that felt like. I think the personality of the kids is there. It's a matter of like, do we have that next edge to get us there? The big thing is just ending conference well, right? That's kind of that's the only thing we're really focused on. And then once and if we get into the NCAAs, that's where we'll kind of turn on the power and turn on the juice a little bit more. And I'll be able to give you a better idea of like, hey, this team is going to do something that you guys really haven't seen yet. Or, hey, we're going to grind it out and try to get a couple more wins in us.
What's been the key for this team, and why are they playing so great so far?
Some of the keys for us is that we've been keeping it light and airy. I mean, there is pressure, and the girls put pressure on themselves kind of because they go to Rollins, and generally speaking, they have to be performing in the classroom. But really on the field, we've just tried to kind of lighten the load for them and enjoy the time that we're with. We have a few kids who are their fifth years or maybe even their sixth year, like Sarah Buckley. And those girls have done a lot of sprints. They have done a lot of extra sessions. They've spent a lot of time in our program. And so to really make their year fun and phenomenal, we've just kind of taken the pressure off them and, tried to do a lot of kind of fun, exciting practices. And I think that's been a key for us, that it's different. We're training them differently. We aren't doing the same old drills that we've done for the past 4 or 5 seasons. And so it's really a season created for those girls.
So would you say that's the difference between how you coach that team and this team right now?
Yeah, this team, they can handle pressure, but they also, they do like it a little more lighthearted. And that's just because Katherine OBrien puts pressure on herself. Sarah Buckley puts pressure on herself. Allie Ross puts a lot of pressure on herself, right? Like those are the kids who don't need me yelling and screaming at them. And that's just what I've learned. Whereas like those teams earlier, they got motivated by it. They liked the little shove. They liked the little like, hey, you're not playing well enough, like come off the field. You know what I mean? Like that team liked it. They were very like, very hard-nosed group in a way. I mean, there were some legit kids on that team, right? There was All-Americans and, kids whose athleticism were through the roof. And there are some ways that I think I know now how to score goals, whereas last time I kind of left it up to them. There was a lot of creativity in that group. Whereas this group, I've kind of showed them like, hey, these are the special ways you guys can score. And with that group, I was like, hey, go score a couple goals. And they're like, okay, thanks, coach. We'll go play and have fun. And this group has a little more formality to them. So
the chemistry's there, and it's obviously showing on the pitch. You said it. You have a lot of great players on this roster, but it's hard to ignore the individual performance that Katherine OBrien has been putting out this season. And she also, broke a top 10 list.
Yay!
That you're on top of in career goals for Rollins all time. So what's it been like for you to see the development of Katherine OBrien into this season?
Yeah, it's been fun because I know her as a freshman or a recruit, and then to have her as her 5th year, it's been great. I've seen every kind of emotion that Katherine OBrien could experience in a college career, from from being freshman of the year, her freshman year, to then sitting out a season due to an injury. Even that little bit of like, I'm going to come back. No, I can't come back. I have restrictions from my doctor and so forth. So we've gone through the gauntlet of like emotions with her. We've seen these big spurts from her, and then we've had to have some of the downfall of like the injury piece. So to have her kind of be on top right now is really, you know, a dream come true, or even like a fairy tale story for this child. And you know, she loves to win. She loves to compete. That's something that it doesn't matter what drill I'm going to show her. Like I can't instill that, right? I can tell her to sprint harder, or what run to make, or which touch to take, or inside of the foot or outside the foot, or some of those tactical moments. But at the end of the day, Katherine OBrien is a special individual for what lies inside Katherine OBrien, which is in her heart and in her mind, and that's really rising her to the top. She is a competitor.
You spent a lot of time with her so far.
A lot. Great time. Exactly. All of it was great.
And then this year you brought a group of freshmen, but there's been a trio of freshmen that have seen time on the pitch, and they've been performing well. Elena Beasley, Sarah Scala, and Bailey Tran. How have the freshman group this year impacted the team?
Oh, it's been huge for them. I mean, they all knew kind of as a recruiting process of, hey, you have a very good chance to start. You have a very good chance to play. I never tell her those kids like how great they are too early, because they have to earn their way in. But those kids came in and they were prepared, they were fit, they were executing, you know, early on in preseason. So it kind of was like, wow, these kids are special. These kids have come in ready. So they've really put themselves onto the field. And then in moments, they have just shown, right? Sarah Scala hits this goal in the Grand Valley game that is, it's got to be a top 10, like, of all time best goals in the history of our program. I mean, she smashes this ball side netting. She silenced the band that was at Grand Valley. You've got Bailey Tran, who then the weekend after comes back here against West Florida, receives a ball after Meg Mosley at warp speed. She tucks it in the back of the net. And you got Beasley, who has to take the place of Kelly Rosewell, who, again, is our star keeper. And Beasley's just kind of stepped in, and nobody's even paid attention. And it's like she's saving balls. She's getting shutouts. She's punting the ball halfway down the field. Those are big moments for freshmen. I mean, we're asking seniors to do some of those things, and these kids are doing it as freshmen. And right now, it's almost like they don't even really know how good they are. We just keep coaching them and keep teaching them to be better every single day.
How does this team that you have this season differentiate itself from the others you've seen?
Oh, it's hard. You know, every team is totally different. They're different because they're older. They have this experience about them. They've gone through the gauntlet. So my junior class, right, 2 years ago, they went 4-9-2. Didn't make the conference tournament. A year ago, so then as sophomores, they make the conference tournament, they go into the NCAAs. So two drastic experiences from that junior class. And then you have people thrown in there like Sarah Buckley, Allie Ross, Mariah, Katherine OBrien, Kelly, who their freshman year or their sophomore years made the NCAAs and actually went into postseason a game or two in there. So there's this experience about this group that they carry with them, that they're more prepared for what lies ahead than I think that they know. And then, like I said earlier, they're just a fun group to be around. Like, I wouldn't call them practical jokers, but there is always something like up everybody's sleeve. And so that kind of like keeps the mood light and it keeps them happy, and everybody's really enjoying to be together. We have a really close-knit group, maybe closer than in years past, and that's definitely the cohesion piece that people talk about in especially all sports, but really in women's sports, that it's really monumental for us. And that has been a big difference from the years past, is we are all bought in, we're all in the same belief that everybody should be in right now.
How do you make your team stay in form and finish off the season strong?
We have to be very specific to what does our team need currently. Like, I probably won't do practices that I did 4 games ago. Like, there are just things that we will tweak, and that's kind of how I'll keep them fresh and alive and ready to play for the remainder here.
Well, Coach, awesome. Well, we look forward to the rest of the season. Thank you so much for your time again for doing this, and it'll be an awesome run.
Okay, we'll see how it goes.